Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Beyond the South Stand off script with me, Jez Davies. I've, of course, joined with my illustrious co-host, Morgan Hewitt. Hi, Morgan. How are you?
Good. I was just doing a little, when that intro music comes in, you can't see me, but I'm always doing a little bit of dance.
Oh, I can see you. I can see everyone before, I can see the camera on the screen and can see exactly what you're doing. So keep doing it. Fine.
The rhythm was in me. The rhythm was in me.
Yeah, no, 100%. So without further ado, let's introduce our guest tonight, who is Chris Kansy, who is a Bayern Munich fan. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Oh, quite fine. A little bit of a long day behind me, but I'm up for talking about football to settle my spirits.
And perhaps if you'd just like to introduce yourself to the audience, what you do for a living, and perhaps how me and you know each other.
Well, I'm based in Lünen. It's a city near Dortmund. At the moment, I'm learning to become an early childhood educator in the town nearby. And we know each other from your trips to Dortmund, where you met up with a friend of mine, and that's how we came in contact.
Yes. Yeah, I remember it well. I think we first time I went out was about a week after the Dortmund bus got attacked. I think I don't know if it was a terrorist attack, and there was quite a queue to get into the stadium.
It was an attack from some shady guy trying to short squeeze the portfolio of Dortmund, the holds, and he tried to make a killer Sam by bombing a bus, which is highly intelligent. So it wasn't a terroristic attack in what most people would define it, but it was more or less like a money-making scheme with no morals at all.
No, absolutely, and the outcome of that was the security checks going into the game were very tight, and I did wear my Norwich shirt to the Dortmund game. I don't know if it was this one, but it would be similar. And Carsten spotted me and said, "Oh, you're a Norwich fan, are you?" And then I actually ended up exchanging shirts with one of the other lot. So it was certainly a good trip. And obviously it was highlighted to me very early that you weren't a Dortmund fan, you're actually a Bayern Munich fan. So hence why we got you on today. You won the German Bundesliga.
Yes, that's correct.
Did you win anything else last season domestically?
Nothing that comes to my.
No. Well, that's good.
No, sadly not. Sadly not.
Good. And Norwich and Dortmund, Norwich and Bayern Munich have got a history as well. So perhaps we can talk about that a little bit later. But perhaps Morgan would like to interject with his first interjection.
My first interjection. Well, the first interjection is obviously thanks for coming on the show, Chris. I know that being friends with Jeremy is tough going and results in much like reflection after every interaction. But I guess the whole purpose of these off-script episodes that we're doing over the summer is to speak to fans of clubs who have won something, got into Europe, or have got promotion through the league. So in the UK, we talk to fans of teams who've gone through the Football League. So it's kind of it's a nice, I guess it's a different way to kind of get inside an opposing fan's head off of coming off the back of a good season. I suppose we could start with talking about Vincent Kompany, because I think in the UK, we were all very much surprised that Kompany was made your head coach. He came from Burnley, as some fans will know. They got promoted a 2 seasons ago, playing good football, but it wasn't enough to keep them in the Premier League. In the UK, we kind of felt, well, is Kompany going to stay with them? And then obviously he's in the running for the Bayern job, and everyone here is scratching their heads going, why? So can you tell us, Chris, firstly, what your feeling on the whole thing was? Because I'm surprised. I'm fairly certain you were fairly surprised. And secondly, why? Why company?
Well, the search for a new coach was kind of a struggle, really, so to speak. We tried to find a coach, and every coach we contacted ultimately declined the offering. And in German yellow press, they called it like company is one of 50 coaches on Munich's list, but he's not nearly close to the top. So it was kind of a struggle to get behind for me as well. But speaking about company as a coach, neglects that company was also a world-class player.
Yeah.
And he played for 3 years in Manchester City under Guardiola. He learned the craft of coaching by a Belgian, very highly respected teacher. And this teacher recently said, company is one highly intelligent trainer. He has a good backing through his career that he had, as he played internationally and was well recognized as one of the top defenders. And also, he has a unique idea of football, and he's not going to change his idea and his goals in how the game should be played. So in retrospective, you can say he is a good fit for Bayern Munich. He just doesn't have the credits as a world-class coach, but he has the credit from highly specific, highly trained, and highly recognized people in and out of the pitch. So he has an idea that the game shall be centered on possession, which was always key to Bayern's dominance on the field, on the pitch. And he is showing through his first season that he can make quite drastically changes to the offensive structure and the structure on the whole pitch, how the players are moving. And I think, and I hope, of course, that company is going to in deeper with the players that know him now, the players that stayed at Munich, so that he can implement his idea even further. And if he gets 1 or 2 transfers, we're still struggling with that. He probably can mold a contestant for the top 4 in Europe again. I think, and I hope that will happen.
Yeah, I think you made a really valid point there about his adaptability and how he didn't adapt in the Premier League, which was his downfall for Burnley. They finished.
But Jez, could you say that it's not necessarily about his adaptability, but more so the fact that he just didn't have the players
correct. It could be that,
he
but then
had the players.
I think
he had the players. Yeah, he got promoted with them. With nearly the same players. So,
and that's the thing, Chris.
What was the reason behind that?
Sorry, it's a bit of a challenge. I think that there's such a big step up in the UK between Championship and Premier League, and I think what Morgan says is they probably didn't invest within the squad, which is a valid point. But they still played the same way as they played in the Championship, which just didn't work. Regardless of personnel. But I think it's good to see that he's gone to. It sounds as if he's gone to Bayern and been able to do that a little bit more. And we've just seen him in the World Club Cup. How did you think they performed in that tournament, Chris?
I wasn't able to catch many of the games. I mostly watched highlight reels. It was nice to see football on a high professional level during the summer break, but it wasn't that kind of what got me into it. And they were nice games. They were completely useless games, like the opening game against a semi-professional club, and then you play 2 weeks later against Paris Saint-Germain. So it's too big for its own good, but the games nonetheless showed where each club stands at the moment. But for Munich, it's kind of really sad that Musiala just now has like a really heavy injury, and so this was a hefty price to pay to lose one of your core players, where most of the attacks are circling around him with him in the middle creating. And now with Müller leaving, it was a hefty price to pay to participate in the tournament. But I think if it's a little bit more condensed, not every club from everywhere, like I think this could get more interesting. But all in all, every club performed what they were able to do on the best, I think, because there was a shit ton of money involved in it, and everybody wants some piece of that cake. That's the problem. So I think it showed where every club is standing right now. But all in all, in this tournament, I think it's also to say you really don't need to do it. And the games were fine, like I said, but there's still some time going on, getting new transfers. So it's more like, how good was the team last season, and how can they perform in a club tournament? So it's nothing new to be won, and to get new information on how the club will perform in the next season, because transfer windows are still open. So everything can happen, nothing can happen. You never know.
Yeah, and I think that, I don't know about you, Morgan, but I didn't really watch it at all. I maybe saw half hour of the final, and I just couldn't get into it. I just didn't follow I think many people did. I mean, a few of my friends were talking about it quite often, and I just couldn't get into it. And I think you're right. I think it served as a distraction to pre-season for a lot of the clubs. How is it going to have a knock-on effect into the next season? Bearing in mind we've got a World Cup at the end of this season as well in America again. So you do wonder if it was a bit of a warm-up event for that. And I just think the whole thing around the final with Donald Trump being involved, it was just a bit... Yeah, so I'm with you, Chris.
Probably steer clear of that side of things. But I would say, to me, I mean, the only knowledge I had of it, this guy go into a coffee shop in my hometown, and I speak to a barista who's a Chelsea fan. And I was like, "Oh, how's things going?" He goes, "Oh yeah, we're getting there. We're in semi-finals playing XYZ." And then the next thing I know, they've won it and beat PSG 3-0, which obviously I was quite happy about, just because. But I think a cynical part of me believes that it existed because they needed to bridge the gap between the end of last season in all the leagues versus the off season. So it's like something, so basically it's football all year round. And so I guess in there, whoever decided this to be the case, it's like, well, we'll give it a go and see what happens. It feels a bit like, a bit like if you remember, if you guys cast your minds back to when you played PlayStation in the late 90s, it feels a bit like an offshoot version of FIFA, that they're like, oh, we'll just release this. We'll release this over the summer for this.
Yeah.
And you can pay 40 quid for this game. And it's like all the best clubs vying for this weird World Club Cup. That's what it kind of feels like to me. And it just, I don't know. It feels weird. It's not really one thing or the other, is it?
No. Big FIFA player, Chris?
Oh, no. I didn't really play much FIFA. I got more into RPGs, JRPGs. And then after I picked it up again. They changed the whole controls, and I couldn't adapt to that. And this is why I called my retirement from professional FIFA playing early in the days of 2018.
Yeah, I didn't get that far. I didn't get that far either because I can't stand losing. So I was just like, nah, I'm not doing that.
I'm just quitting playing because people play and they enjoy the game, but I'm so bad at it, literally, that I ruin the fun for others by being the most useless piece of user in front of the controller when it comes to FIFA.
Yeah. I think I played a bit over COVID because I was on furlough leave.
He says a bit.
Well, there's a format of where it's called Pro Clubs, where you're one player, and I always remember it was about 6 or 7 of us just.
I love that. When you play it from their POV, and it's like for those at home who don't know what POV means, point of view. And I was like, I used to love that, playing left wing back for Norwich. I can't imagine doing that in real life. That'd be terrible.
No.
So just going back to Bayern, because that's why we're here. How do you think your season went then? The last season, were you surprised that you won the Bundesliga? I mean, or were you kind of like expecting? There you go. What were your expectations?
No. Of course, I wasn't surprised that we won the league. This is the bare minimum you have to achieve as a coach to call it a successful season. If you don't win the league, it's full pressure, or even before that, there's the door, you're out. No, I wasn't really surprised because I believed in the squad that we had. We have Musiala, we have Kane, Neuer in the goal, still fantastic keeper. Problems with the defensive force, we have. Still not able to find a proper setting or proper players that fulfill the requirements. So this was the struggle point in how is the season going in the long run. But through the offensive style the company dictates throughout the games and obviously through training and everything, it wasn't that much of a problem, because if you shoot one goal more than you receive, you're still going to win the game and you can still win the league. It's as simple as that, but the kicker is always the defensive positions in the last years. If the season is running good or bad, offensive-wise, I never really doubted that there's quality and that they are able to get these quality into results. But the defensive positions always are a struggle point for the last 4 or 5 years, roundabout. So wasn't surprised, to answer your question. It could have been better if we won one cup, like the DFB Pokal or the Champions League. But Champions League it's a coin flip in the end if you advance one more round or not, because every club is just so damn good. And DFB Pokal in Germany, we say the cup has its own laws, and this always fits. Always first league clubs, big clubs, lose against some people that play football as a hobby. And so, but all in all, how the offense performed, it was good. Now we still need to focus and narrow down our sights on getting these defensive players a little bit more tighter so they can play better and the team can play with more rest, that they know, okay, if we lose the ball up front, the back will got us, has our backs. And I hope this comes around this season. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. It's funny.
I just wanted
to pick up on a point that Chris made about the definition of the DFB, right? The DFB Cup.
Yes.
And it sounded very, very similar to the way that in England they always portray the FA Cup. And Morgan will know they called it the magic of the FA Cup.
That's why I thought I imagine that's the similar kind of thing where everyone can beat
proud about that.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that it was interesting to hear that it breaks country boundaries. That sort of that feeling, I guess, that anyone can beat anyone.
But that's the fun of it, isn't it?
Mm.
I mean, you've from England know the same sayings, just with other wording, but the own national cup success if your team loses. So yeah, it's about that. But it's fun that I think you can ask some people from Italy; they will tell you the exact same thing, and it's a beautiful thing that football is internationally always the same.
Yeah,
just different colors on the pitch.
Wasn't there a team? Was it last year or the year before that were an amateur side and they did really well? Got to the quarters or semis. I can't think who it was. What were they called? Can't remember. But there was a team in Germany that did really well last year. As I say, it could have been the year before. But fair play.
Yeah,
and
you always have these kind of stories. Like there's a club from 6th division and they advance 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds, and everybody's scratching their head like, at least by now they should know they are a danger if you underestimate them, but apparently not. And it's always the same. There was once a run by St. Pauli. They were second tier, and they advanced against Bielefeld, Bremen, another club with B, and then they faced Bayern. So and they had the funny way to print shirts where they crossed out every club they defeated the hometown, and then the shirt read, "Next B, please." It was kind of funny. So nobody really thought they would achieve this far in the tournament at all, but hell, they showed them and made a good profit out of that too. So brilliant job by the marketing.
Yeah, I mean that's fantastic. That's the beauty of the cups, isn't it? Like those clubs. Oh, who was it, Jez? Last season, who got really far, and they were playing Man City, and I think we went to a game.
Plymouth.
Did they? Yes, they beat Liverpool.
Yeah.
And then they were playing Man City, right? Yeah.
I think the most, they did, and I think they went 1-0 up at Man City's ground. The most recent examples of the ones in the UK are you're probably looking at Maidstone United, who are based in the southeast of England, Chris, and they got to the round 5, I think, actually losing to Ipswich. Funnily enough, one of our rivals, or our main rival. But yeah, so no, the magic of the FA Cup. So in terms of next season, then Chris, what the aspirations are you? You talked about the transfer market already. What are Bayern Munich looking to bring in next season, and what's the plan? I guess.
Yeah, that's a tough question. It's hard to admit it, but we're not struck by luck this period. Yeah. Nearly every player we try to get, they either don't want to leave or they leave for another club. And we have Jonathan Tah, Tom Bishop from Hoffenheim. And that's it.
Have you brought Jonathan Tah?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a free transfer, so no transfer fee, so good steal. Hope he gets to the position where he can stabilize our defense, but we will see how this works.
He's a good defender.
So and right now,
he did really well.
Right now, they're trying to get Nick Woltemade from Stuttgart, but it's more like one party is saying, yeah, we'll get him. The other party, Stuttgart, is saying no, over our dead body. And this is like the transfer topic that circles around Bayern Munich at the moment. There are some rumors that they have 2 international players on their list that nobody knows about, but rumors are rumors, and so we'll see what will come out at the end of the transfer window. So,
yeah,
I mean, I want to talk about. We have to talk about Harry Kane because we can't ignore it.
I love him.
Obviously, well, that's it. That's my question done. I'll see you later.
Bye.
No, I mean, I think a lot of us were quite surprised by in the UK. Spurs are my second team, as regular viewers of this podcast will know, and I was quite surprised that he left. I mean, I knew that he would to win something for once, although he missed out on the. But sod's law, isn't it? You go, you know what? I'm going to go to Bayern. I'm going to move a country to win a cup, and then Spurs go and win a cup. But
yeah,
what are your thoughts? What are your feelings? I mean, when he first arrived, were you like, okay, well, what's the deal, Mr. Kane?
No, not really. I was pretty much confident that he could deliver in Germany as he delivered in England. He has that class as a player, as a person, on and off the pitch. He's fantastic. I mean, look at him. He's always kind to other people, doesn't have big diva mannerisms on the pitch, off the pitch, from what I read and I heard and I saw. And that he has the quality, no doubt. He's one of the best players of the English national team. So fuck yeah, if you have a chance to buy him, buy him. And he delivered a phenomenal first season. No doubt about that. And he is opposite of what Lewandowski did for Bayern as a striker. Lewandowski by himself, phenomenal striker. Hands down, one of the best. But Kane is more of a playing striker. He drops back to midfield, creates chances for the left or the right wing. He can play nearly as good as a 10 as he can perform as a striker. He is an absolute menace on the field for the defending party. And I love that. You're never sure how he will create something, where he will appear in in the opponent's half, how he will. And then I just saw a clip from the World Club Cup. He runs back at full speed and slide tackles another one because one of his teammates lost the ball. There's strikers that would never do that. He's amazing. I love him. I really love him.
Yeah. Shame we never saw any of that at Norwich, Jez?
Yeah, I was literally just about to say exactly the same thing.
Go on then, Jez. Go on. Inform the Bayern Munich fans watching this where Harry Kane cut his teeth.
Well, he cut his teeth. I mean, he was on loan for half a season with us, and he was it half a season or was it? I think it was only half a season, wasn't it? Because I think we went back in January.
It was Chris Hughton's first. It was Chris Hughton's first season with us.
Yeah, that's right. And he was part of the infamous. We're talking about the FA Cup earlier. We got beat by a non-league team that season, and he was playing that day in Luton Town. Quite often mentioned on this.
Go on, explain, because otherwise the Bayern fans at home won't understand why I'm smiling.
Well, I went to university in Luton and never left, so I classed them as my second team.
And we hear about Luton almost every single episode that we ever do. It's always got to be a reference to Luton in there somewhere.
Somewhere. It is, yeah. It's always stuff. always stuck under the carpet, isn't it? It's but no. So he didn't really do an awful lot. I don't think he even scored it. There was a highlight reel the other day of him, and he was just, you could tell that he was. Yeah, well, no, I think he had 5 or 6 really good opportunities, but whether it was just a confidence thing, he just never looked like he was going to score. But after his loan with us, I can't remember if he went on loan to Leicester before or after, but anyway, he got an opportunity at Spurs and took it. He took it, and I think everyone thought, well, this is going to be a bit of a one-season wonder. Harry Kane ain't going to do this every year, and he's done it every year since. So yeah, he's absolutely superb, and I'm really pleased that he's actually now gone and won something. Because there was a lot of memes, Chris, of him sort of saying if Harry Kane had stayed at Norwich, he would have won 3 trophies by now. And finally, he's actually gone and won something.
There was a kind of some memes around here too, because Harry Kane, 100 million euros transfer, goes to the club that won the league title 10 years in a row. Harry Kane arrives. Leverkusen gets the title. People were making a shit ton of fun with him. They were like, yeah, that's what you also buy when you buy Harry Kane. You buy Lever winning a title again. So, yeah.
It's funny.
But he's back.
Okay.
So thankfully for that. Go on, Jez.
Yeah, so I think if we was to just move on to perhaps some of our memories from the past, and we talked about it just before we came on, and I think all of us were of a very tender age, but Norwich and Bayern Munich did play each other in 1993.
Yes.
1993, in the UEFA Cup, and we have dined on a famous win, Chris, for a number of years now. I think,
it's the best pub. Chris, I don't know if you're aware or have these in Germany as well, but we have a thing called pub quiz, and so like on a Tuesday night, someone will probably host like a pub quiz, and I'll ask loads of random questions, and so I think one of the best pub quiz questions in sporting topics is, who are the only English side to beat Bayern in their old Olympic Stadium? And obviously, it's Norwich. I love that pub quiz question. Anyway, sorry, Jed, I had to get it in there.
No, it's fine. It was a big moment in our history, and it probably, it's sad to say it, but it's probably the biggest. The first and foremost, do you have any memories from that, or have you seen any footage of those games? It's probably not something that gets talked about regularly in Bayern Munich's circles.
Yeah, it's not a very, let's say, a common knowledge around.
Yeah.
Just as you asked me if I could step in on this podcast, I just for fun Googled Bayern Munich Norwich, and this is the first answer Google spat out, and so I clicked on it and I read it. It's a quite good article, I have to say. Gives an in-depth analysis of everything, and so I was reading there. When I scroll down, I forgot why I was on that page. Then I scrolled up and said, it's the Norwich thing. Yeah, brilliant. Great attention span as always. Holy, but it's not a common knowledge. I was surprised that we both played against, but it's 1993, 1984, so I was hardly able to recognize my own grandmother. So, let's be honest. I kind of forgive myself for not knowing everything about that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair enough. But I mean, for us, Morgan, have you got any sort of memories from it?
I mean, hang on. Let me have a think. 93, you say?
Mm.
So I was 9 years old. I vaguely remember like the furore about it. But I mean, like when you're 9 years old, I can't really remember. I can't really remember yesterday, Jez, to be honest, let alone when I was 9 years old. But I mean, I think that like for us, because we, it's not Bayern and Norwich operate in completely different universes. Let's face it. For us to have kind of got into Europe and play a European giant and beat them. I mean, it's obviously, Chris, you Bayern have gone on to do, Bayern have gone on to do loads of different cool things. But like, I mean, like, such a stupid thing to say. But you were.
It still haunts us to this day that we lost that game in '93.
I'm sure it doesn't. But I mean, like, for you, it's probably just nothing. But for us, because we are a provincial club. For us, it's like it is. There's that famous image of Jeremy Goss scoring that amazing goal, and for us, it was a big deal. It was a big.
I actually know this
deal.
picture.
It's a really famous photo. Like not just for but footballing circles.
It is the most iconic Norwich City photograph of all time.
Oh, is that what they say? Or
well, that's what I say.
Mine is Ricky Van Wolfswinkel shooting with a flat with a.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm sorry, Jez. What were you going to say?
No, I think we've covered it, to be honest. But no, I think the other game that I can remember featuring Bayern Munich, and you're going to kill me, Chris, because it's another loss, is the 1999 Champions League final against Man United.
Well, excuse me?
You might remember that one, Chris.
What? Technical difficulties. 1999 is it was a disaster. It was a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah, it was.
Obviously, on recency bias, the game against Chelsea in our own stadium that we lost in the Champions League final hit me personally more harder. But nonetheless, but I think the loss in '99, even in that highly spectacular fashion, was the foundation for winning the Champions League in 2001.
Yeah, great.
Because you had all these great players, these club icons. And there's 99, they're sitting there defeated. And Kahn and Effenberg said, we have to prove that we are able to win this cup. And for the next 2 years, they went on furiously. And in 2001, through penalty shootout, with 3 saves by Oliver Kahn, and me having nearly the equivalent of a teenager heart attack, finally winning that cup was, for them, I think, what also cemented Bayern in modern football's history as one of the bigger clubs, next to Real, next to Barcelona, next to Manchester United back in the day. So it was important that they lost, I think, to reignite the flame, to push them even further than beyond, just to win this cup.
No, I agree.
I think that was quite important.
No, I agree, and I think as well as looking forward to the 2013 UEFA Champions League final where you took on. So I'm just checking. Yeah, Dortmund. I thought it was. You beat them.
Yeah,
and that was it.
It was fun. It was fun. It was really fun. No, I traveled with 4 buddies by car to London. We watched at the apartment of a friend of mine. We watched both half finals: Dortmund against Real and Bayern against, I think, Barcelona was it. And we were completely wasted. Like 12 beers in deep dive. So 6 liters in general throughout the game. And then we sit there, we suck it a little bit out of the blue. And then we say like, hey, yo, both our teams are in the final. Yeah. Finals in England. Yeah. We shall drive to England. Yeah. 10 minutes later, we booked the ferry, we booked a hostel in Chelsea, and after that, we called our friends, hey, want to join us?
Yeah.
And they said, yes, why not? And then we drove over, watched the game at a pub. That was our goal, to watch the German final of the UEFA Champions League in a pub in London, visiting Wembley the day after the final just to say, yeah, we were there in Wembley. And we drove there. We were idiots. We were young idiots, 23 years old. We think we know the world. And hell, it was a fun of a trip. All the time, people around us, like, how can you coexist? Your mortal enemies, your clubs are in this, are playing for the UEFA Champions League trophy. And we're like, yeah, we have the same brain damage, so we get along very well.
Do you remember what pub it was?
We're sitting in a... First, we were near a pub by the train station Embankment. Let me just Google that quick. Maybe I can find the pub where we stayed first. Embankment, London. Map.
It's the sort of half-brained schemes that me and Jez would probably come up with, and that's now.
Fiona, what's the closest pub to Embankment, would you say? What's the closest pub to Embankment?
It was quite close.
Yeah. Oh, is there? I'll just ask Fiona what the closest pub to Embankment is, and she says there's one on every street corner. So that's no good.
Yeah, there are many, but all of the pubs were full, like legit full.
Mm.
And it was a small station down. There it is. So then it should have been where the fuck is it? I can't remember the name. I think if I wake up tomorrow morning, I will say, oh yeah, that was the name.
Mm.
But we stood there and nothing much was really going on. So there was like a hand knitted cloth behind the table. A pub is for life, not for Christmas. We were sitting there like, yeah, we can get behind that message. Let's stay here. We asked the barkeep to put on the TV program so we can watch the game in his pub. And he said, yeah, we can do that. So they were not really interested in all that, because I think that was because then we know why there were free spaces. And then we sat there in the corner, drinking, eating for 4 or 5 hours straight. And then I was outside, talked to a nice gentleman if he had finished reading The Sun that he has with him, so I can take a look at it. He gave it to me, and I stand outside the pub, having a little smoke break. And 2 people come over and see me in my jersey and like, hey, you're from Germany? I'm like, yeah, I am. How can I help you? Why are you here? They didn't show anything. Let us show you a pub where they actually play the game and where it's full and we can get in and many people will watch it. Like, oh, sounds great. Let me call my friends. I knock on the door, on the window, gesture them to come outside. These 2 gentlemen will take us to a pub where we can watch the game. And we go in, pay our tab, go out, and we follow 2 complete strangers in London, across town by foot. And we arrive at the first pub and like, oh shit, it's full. Okay, we know another one. Let's go. Okay, we go. We go in a small pub. One table in the corner was still not used that much, so there were some spaces where you could tightly fit in. After we drank another hour, other people left. Some Germans joined us. And yeah, it was so cramped, and the TV was positioned in such a shade way. I saw more through the reflection on the glass door than the actual screen. But that wasn't important. I had like my 16th, 17th ale.
Yeah.
We won. Close to a buzzer beater by Robin. I was really happy and let myself enjoy this moment by screaming out my joy. Next to me, my 4 Dortmund friends. On the other side, 2 other Dortmunders, which I didn't know.
Oh, no.
He was quite pissed, to be honest. His wife then said, like, you just talked for 90 minutes straight with it, man. He's happy now. Now shut the fuck up, shake his hand, and we leave.
Fair play.
So yeah, that's my first time being in England for football, and it was quite amazing.
Amazing. That's very good funny. That's
the stuff that football brings, right? Like that story.
Yeah. The power of magic, friendship, football, and booze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
no good story starts with, hey, we were eating a salad.
and a dash of stupidity as well, because that always helps.
Yeah,
obviously. Yeah, 100%.
That's a good story.
He stumped you, Annie Morgan.
Huh?
I said he stumped you. Yeah.
What, with
the story?
With that,
yeah.
It was highbrow.
Yeah. That is absolutely brilliant. I think just before we do the random question of the week, Chris, which is a sight to behold. I can't wait to see what he's going to come up with. Talk to us a little bit about the fan experience in Germany and how it probably differs to the UK. I think, talk about how easy it seems to be in terms of traveling around the cities, the actual atmosphere, and some of the fan parks or pubs in the city.
So I was in a total of 14 stadiums in Germany, I guess.
Yeah.
Mostly North Rhine-Westphalia based. So Aachen, Aalen, Dortmund, Bochum. I have a season ticket for Bochum since 2023. I was in Munich, Hamburg, on the Millantor from St. Pauli. Nearly all bigger and smaller stadiums, like I said, in North Rhine-Westphalia. It's easy to get there, most parts. Munich is kind of a bit special because it's very far outside the city. But you get there by local transportation pretty much fine.
And they don't charge you on match days, do they?
Otherwise, no, if you have a ticket on you, you don't have to pay for public transport. It's always printed on the ticket. It says, by owning this ticket on the day of the match, the arrival and the departure from the stadium are free of charge because you already paid it with the price of the ticket.
Yeah, to clarify that, Morgan, that's the match ticket, not the train ticket.
Okay.
Which I think is brilliant.
It's convenient. And you just I want to go, let's say I want to go to Bochum. And if I have to pay for the train fare, I would be roundabout with a special offer with, let's say, 50 quid. But the ticket for Bochum itself costs me 12, 13 euros.
Yeah.
So the train ticket it's like a service the Deutsche Bahn and the clubs offer for the fans to be able to actually arrive on time if the train is on time. In Germany, that's a hard thing to achieve, and that's quite a feature that I would never like to miss.
Yeah, no, I think it's brilliant. And what about some of the atmospheres that you've experienced at stadiums and perhaps some of the fan parks around it?
So if you go to Munich, you will obviously sit around in a beer hall, a beer garden, small pub, a Brauhaus, as they say it in the south, and you get match ready. So your liver is all warmed up, and you can have some fun in the stadium. If you are in Dortmund, there are fan parks around the stadium. From the train station towards the stadium, there's like a sausage joint where you get your bratwurst and currywurst and your beers and sit around, talk with other people while you wait for other friends to arrive because they missed the train or they will arrive a train later and you want to enter the stadium with them. And you need to do that if you go to Dortmund. You need to join the stadium as a group, or otherwise if you go to the Südtribüne, you're lost. There are 25,000 people with no assigned seats that's standing there. If you're lost, you're lost. You're on your own. Good luck for these 90 minutes.
This is the infamous yellow wall.
And yes. I was on there quite some time, so it's pretty nice, the atmosphere there. But
Brilliant.
For me, it's like always a little bit too big for a stand. It's enormously high, and I'm afraid of heights. So, fuck yeah, you will never see me in block 83 or something like that. Down to earth, hey, probably yeah, I will go. But the higher up, the more nope I go. And yeah,
the nosebleeds.
But I really enjoy going to Bochum Stadium. It's smaller, like 25,000 people, 27,000 people can fit in there. It's a little bit more, sounds stupid to say it with a mass of 25,000 people, more familiar.
Yeah.
But the atmosphere in every stadium I went was amazing. It's always loud, supportive, sometimes hitting out a few not so nice songs against single players, the club, the mothers of the players and the other fans and their mothers, and questioning her sexual integrity towards her husband. And yeah, but it's always fun. I really enjoy it. I think by now the fan culture in Germany is quite good. Obviously, there are always some idiots who smuggle in fireworks or something. I think you can't get rid of those idiots, sadly. But hey, it's a game of cat and mouse. Will the security get the new ways, how they smuggle that in? How will they prepare for that without hindering the experience for the other fans that just go to the stadium to have 90 minutes away from their wives so they don't nag them all the time, where they just spend all their days on football and nothing else? So, yeah. But I think all in all, in an overall rating, I would say it's like a good B+.
Yeah, I think that's a fair shout. I think that's a good place to finish. Chris, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you again. Before we let you go,
it's all mine.
No, thank you. And before we let you go, I'm going to hand you over to Morgan.
So every guest, Chris, goes through this process of having to answer one of my random questions of the week. You don't know what it's going to be; it's just random. So I do this whole spiel as I'm going to do right now because I don't have.
Nice bit of German, Morgan.
Right. Random question of the week. Right, Chris. Germany is well known for some of its musical exports. Kraftwerk, Rammstein, David Hasselhoff, who would you say Bayern Munich what musical artist most represents Bayern Munich as a whole, its community, its club? What are you shaking your head for, Jez?
That's a good question.
It's a good question. I like it.
We just need to clarify David Hasselhoff just sang Down the Wall, but is American-based. But he is cherished in Germany for, I think, alcohol-related reasons.
Right.
Like heavy intoxications, like David Hasselhoff probably does himself all the time. But which musical act would represent Bayern the best? Well, gotta say, what am I going to say? Well, good old Blasmusik. Every little, like this oompa music, as the Americans call it, what you always hear when you see, because Bayern is a club that is very proud of their heritage and where they come from. And the club Mir San Mir translates to we are who we are. And so I think there's no outside musician or musical act that would describe Bayern Munich better than a good old-fashioned drinking song based on Bavarian traditions.
That's a really good answer. We have in the UK like this thing called Winter Wonderland every Christmas, and it's got like it's German. It's supposed to be German, like Bavarian themed. It's not. But I can imagine that's the sort of thing that kind of what you mean. So yeah. Oh, it's great. I love it. Jez, what about Norwich?
I should have been thinking about that, really, shouldn't I? To be honest, I thought I was adamant that Chris was going to go with Scooter. I don't know why, but there we go. What represents Norwich?
It's actually a tough question. I can't think. Hang on.
It is a tough question.
I'll just pull something out of the air. I would say
Roger Taylor.
You what? Sorry.
Roger Taylor, Queen's drummer. He's from Norwich, right?
He's from Norfolk, yeah.
So
no, he is.
Queen.
Yeah, he is from Norfolk. He was born in King's Lynn. Yeah, he was born in King's Lynn. Yeah.
I would say with schizophrenic. So probably like Linkin Park. Yeah, there you go. 1 minute we turn up, the next we're in a fallow period, and we're rapping about. Sorry, Jez, we're rapping about.
Well, if you go up and down all the time, how about some elevator music?
Yeah, because I
some easy listening.
Last season, we were that boring that we. Jez, go on. Have you got one?
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of the George Ezra song called Shotgun, but the lyrics are "Time flies by in the yellow and green," and that song. That song came out when we got promoted under Fark for the first time.
It was
second time. The first time. First time.
I thought George Ezra. Tried to look him up to see if he was a Norwich fan, but I couldn't find anything to clarify that. No,
he's not. He's funny enough. He's actually from this manor, Hertford. He's from. So, but I don't know who he supports. Maybe Arsenal or Tottenham. But there we go. Chris, thanks once again. I'm sure our paths will cross again soon. As you say, you are in the UK. Bournemouth's a little bit far away from us, unfortunately. But where are you flying into? What airport?
Heathrow.
Okay, keep me posted.
We'll be going from Düsseldorf to Heathrow, then take the bus.
It's a journey.
So
that is a journey. Okay, I'll have a wonderful time.
It's fun. I've done it already.
And good luck. Good luck next season. Thanks once again for coming on. Just for everyone else listening, you can follow us on social media, Facebook channel, Instagram and X. You can now watch the show on YouTube as well. Thank you so much for watching or listening. I've been Jez Davies. I've
been the illustrious Morgan Hewitt.
And I'm the random guy from Germany.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. That's all for this episode of Beyond the Barclay. Thanks for listening and supporting the podcast. If you enjoyed it, be sure to follow, leave a review, and share it with fellow Norwich City fans. We'll be back soon with more insight and discussion from around Carrow Road. Until then, on the ball, City.